We're live. Yep. We're having the usual problems with. Good evening, everybody. We're having the usual issues in that connecting. The connection is always a little bit tricky, and we have to look at
connecting the connector to the connection is not connecting.
And then looking at the. I'm gonna have. I can't see.
Chats aren't working either.
No, the R. How did I do it earlier? Restore chat. See if I do pop out chat. So there you go. Yeah, Aaron, you're on early. Well, fair ball to you. And actually, I was waiting for you to get on because what I was going to say was that I saw your point. I saw your post about September, and I could just imagine that Aaron's going, oh, no, right? But like so, we're going. Good evening, Laura. Laura Owen. Is it Lorraine Owen or is it Laura and Owen? I meant to ask that last week. Yeah, we're gonna probably see if we can get to attend that thing in September. So we were supposed to. Good evening, Mr. Ford. We were supposed to organise something, but we never did we?
No.
It's not really our skill set, is it?
No.
You're definitely way better at that, I'd say, Aaron. So, I think what we'll do is we'll kind of jump in on the back of Aaron's
yeah,
deal.
yeah, like
it just makes sense.
You do the YouTube channel and I do the Instagram thing, more or less. That's the way we work it. But I wouldn't, like, I'm not into, heaven forbid, I'm not into YouTube at all, really. So you'd have more the connections than I would. So we're just better off.
Aye, okay, yeah. So just to say, Mr. Ford, it's too late, Mr. Ford. It is raining, and that's why we call it the Van Dat. Yeah. So yeah, and Tree Grove. Yeah, I've actually passed by the campsite a good few times. It's on our to visit list because I think you've spoke so highly about it in the past, and Vanessa would love to see Kilkenny City. The only thing playing against us is, if they'll allow us to stay. Because we're not a white van, if you know what I mean. Like, we're not a proper camper. Mobile home kind of camper thing. So, good evening, the neighbour. Can never remember that. So, if we can't stay, what we'll do is we'll just pop down. We'll just pop down and come in for the crack. And then we'll stay for a bit. We'll stay for as long as we can. And then what we'll do is just head home in the evening. Or we could just go somewhere wild camp. So,
the hotels will be back open. We can go to a hotel.
Oh yeah. Make everyone jealous. Yeah, we're just after. We'll leave the van here and we just head to the hotel. Yeah, there's some nice hotels in Kilkenny. So yeah, so look, I think the thing is the 25th September. So just before my birthday. So yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll come along, and in that way, then that will be we can. Of course, it's for viewers of the channel. Okay. Well then, grant. Well then, that's that decided. So what we should probably do is go ahead and book it. And then say that we'll be going down. What day is it? Presumably it's a Saturday or something, is it? The 25th of September, is it?
Don't know, I'm checking now.
Should we take the time off anyway? It doesn't matter. I'll have plenty of holidays left.
Talk to the boss.
I'll have plenty of holidays left. So yeah, so look, I think fair ball to you, Aaron. I think that is definitely, at least you kind of went ahead and set the dates and all that kind of stuff. And I think using the campsite is very good. And I think having your contacts and all like that, it made sense, isn't it? It's much better. We don't really know anyone who owns any kind of campsites. Although that people we stayed in up in Derry that time, they were so friendly, weren't they?
I
felt like I was related to them. They were so friendly, so accommodating. But other than that, I'd say the campsites we've stayed in have been very nice, but the people have been professional. Whereas the people we stayed in Derry, I think it was the first year they were open, wasn't it? It'd be interesting to see now.
It was gone into their second season, but yeah.
Was it? They were so friendly. It was they lived on the site as well, though, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so look, fair ball to you. I think when I saw that, Aaron had thought fair ball, and we definitely plug in and go along, and then see. So I'll have to sit down and book that now. Did you find out when the 25th is?
I wasn't looking for that.
So thanks for the trip down memory lane. 100 years ago, I went to Marino Tech. You spend a lot of time in Clontarf, yeah. We spend a lot of time in Clontarf. We do because it's so handy to get to.
Just making sure my course wasn't.
Oh yeah, it's so handy to get to, and the beach is lovely. Let me just see, how do we look, because I can't see. Where are we?
Well, I look amazing.
Okay, so the beach is super to drive onto, and that's basically it. So it was interesting that you can see the issue. Obviously, you watched the video when we got under the barrier. So that's the reason the roof box had to go.
Yeah.
Because, what they're trying to do is look. I think the thing is, what it is they don't want people going down there and camping down there permanently, right? Without going into the details and all those issues loaded behind it all, right? That's what they don't want to do. So they have those barriers up.
They don't want you taking up residence.
Yeah. So the whole So I think the thing then is, and that's what we ran into. But I was delighted because obviously taking the roof box off was stopping us a few times, and I would have done me nut. Now we could have parked and walked down, but
would the van have been safe?
I don't know. But you want to be down there, don't you?
Yeah.
You want to be down there.
It's the whole idea of it.
Yeah. So it was great, and I have to say, it's a great spot, wasn't it?
Lovely.
It was an absolutely great spot.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Like if the Irish Town Nature Reserve and the two lovely little beach, like the big long beach, and then the lovely little kind of half moon shaped beach as well, and then the lovely pier with the lighthouse down the end of it. And
yeah, it's a real treat.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's a great
Really,
spot.
really nice.
Great, yeah. There's parking. It's not a million miles from the city, and then
practically in
the
city.
The ships going in and out. It's a very from a photography, from a videography and photography aspect, very interesting. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to video. There's nothing. It wouldn't be.
I was glad I took my camera out for the first time in
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. So that was the thing. So hopefully you liked the video, and we. I think it kind of ticked a lot of the boxes for me. It was a nice mix of, we were in the van, we were doing stuff around, we were talking and all that kind of stuff as well. Sometimes I think the videos can be too heavily one way or the other, and mainly probably me just being a bit kind of into the nature and all that kind of stuff as well. But I'm sure that's just kind of part of it.
Yeah.
Can't get my head around the thingy. Instagram, is it?
I love it.
Yeah, to be honest, I had YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook, got rid of it. I have Instagram back, but I barely use it, and that's it really. YouTube is just the one thing for me, isn't it? And why do you love Instagram?
Because it's just, there's only so much that someone can put up on it. It's rare that anyone rants and raves and gives out about anything on it.
I only look at the pictures on it.
And it's
What way do you?
but people put a post underneath the picture.
I only follow photographers really.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I follow influencers.
Well, originally it was just for pictures.
Well,
it has gone.
squares.
So I use it
There's
as.
ads on it though now. That's the thing that bothers me.
I don't really. Well, you can just block them.
When people are watching things on YouTube and then they pop up on your.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it is interesting. So what happened was, I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole yesterday it's kind of all linked. I had started to look. What I was doing was I was watching this Norwegian family who have a T3, and so it was interesting. So I was watching it. Actually, I really liked the T3. I have to say, it's a really, really nice looking van, and I like the simplicity of it, and I like the inside, and just I do like them. And anyway, I was watching this. There was this Norwegian couple, but then they were driving in the snow, and then it got me into watching about snow chains on your tires, and then I started to watch videos about snow socks because they look a little more convenient, right, to use, and so we could probably use them here. It'd be very seldom we would use it. You can't use them where the roads are kind of a bit, where it's exposed. It'll tear to pieces. You have to have proper snow and where the roads aren't gritted or anything like that as well, which wouldn't be common. And if you did have that kind of road, it'd probably be closed. I'm thinking of the Sally Gap. So anyway, so what happened was I ended up watching a bunch of videos on snow socks, which is quite interesting and probably useful to have in the van. And the grip of them is very good and easier to use than the chains, and you can go a little bit quicker and there's less noise off them and all that kind of stuff. But then what happened to you?
I got ads for it. When I looked on Facebook, there was nothing but ads for snow socks for the cars.
Which is interesting because I wasn't looking it up on your account and
No.
you didn't go looking at it. But it is interesting. So the algorithm obviously knows we're connected somehow, or else it was
But you remember
eavesdropping.
today that you sent me an email, but it came in from my email address.
I kind of sort of remember
Yeah.
it, but it's one of those.
Was it from your laptop or something? But I've never connected my email or anything to your laptop.
Yeah.
But it came in from my email address, which is very strange.
I'm not sure. But so I just think it's just interesting. So that kind of that it's sort of like those socks look like snocks. Those socks look handy. But I was looking at them I was looking at on the Halfords website. Now Air Tire is an extra large tire.
Of course.
Yeah, and of course they didn't have any. So now again, I'm kind of planning way ahead. Love your hair, Vay.
Little and Aldi, Mike. If you could see what's under this headband, you wouldn't be saying that. But thank you.
So I love your hair too.
Thanks. I love your hair.
What I have left of it.
Yeah.
So
Please keep it.
But they would be handy to have though. I have to say, if you did. Now, so the thing about it is, what that leads me on to is we're starting to think about next year's holiday, as opposed to what we were supposed to do this year. What were we doing this year?
Sicily.
Oh yeah. So so the thing is, the trip we still have the ferry to Scotland booked, but that may be cancelled, right? So if that's cancelled, then obviously we'll be here. So then the next thing to look forward to will be the September the 25th.
Where are we going, Aaron?
September the 25th in Treegrove. Yeah. So and that's the thing. Aaron has a load of stuff lined up on his videos. I think he put up about 7. Actually, you put up about 7 places, and there was one place. So what he did was Aaron put up his top 5 favorites, and then his wife's top 5 favorites. And there was actually one place, and I meant to write it down. I'll have to watch the video again. The one place, I'm rebooting because you keep dropping out. Is that could be
That's
us?
Christian.
That could be us. Let me just see.
Just tell him.
No,
'cause
we have good connection. Yeah, good connection. So, well, if anyone else thinks we're dropping out, just let us know. So, yeah. So Aaron put, and there was one place Aaron and his wife. I think it's one at Deirdre's. I think it might have been. If you listed out her 5 favorite places, it might have been the second or third one you mentioned, and it looked like a really, really nice campsite. And again, so many of these campsites. That's why I'd say Aaron's channel will do very well, because I think what was it? If the list on your email, I'm assuming in your comments, I'll have to look
Hi,
it up.
Alex.
But
Thanks, Mr. Ford.
it was really, really, and it looked really, really nice. And the thing, that's what I was going to say, that's why I think that, like, when so many of the places, there's so many campsites I haven't
Yeah,
heard
but
about.
remember the place when we were going down to Daniel last year, and it was just kind of on I think it was in Cork, and it was just on like it was here, and then there was like a seafront kind of here. What was that?
Daniel.
We were heading to
Oh.
Daniel, but it was in Cork.
Oh. Yeah. It's only a hotel, the big hotel.
It was close to a hotel, but this was a campsite, like.
Oh,
That looked amazing.
see, I have a list.
It's on your list anyway.
It's on my list, but I don't start looking up lists of stuff like that as well. So, places to visit. I know the place you're talking about. I'll have to look it up.
15th of July, they're hoping for the campsites to open in Scotland. If that happens,
That could suit.
work
That
out.
could suit.
Yeah.
That could suit. Yeah, that would suit us.
What about the pubs though? Because we'll
If the
need feeding.
If the campsites, no, you see,
Because I don't plan on cooking every single day.
Garrettstown. No, sorry, Aaron, I'm driving you mad now.
You'll just rewatch
it'll be
the
the last place you pick.
No, is
Garrettstown.
he talking about the place I'm trying to think of?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so Scotland, if that's the case, then that would be good. Then that would suit us. It's just that when we go to Scotland, what we want is we'll need obviously shops open and places like that as well, and we that's it. Renville, that's the one. Renville, yes, I knew. So
Connemara.
so and I tell you, it looked really, really nice. Now I have to say, it caught my. I was like, oh, where's that now? I'll have to go and look at that. So I'll have to add that to the list. Renville looked really, really nice. So that's what I was saying. That's what's super handy about Aaron's channel. He sees so many places. So so if Scotland's back open, because again we would need access to shops, but also if say we go over and we're over there for a week. I had planned on spending a couple of nights in a hotel somewhere. You know what I mean, as well. So I think if we come across a hotel and it's a nice spot, we might go in and say, "Do you have any accommodation?" And they'd say, "Yeah." Boom. But obviously, if there's no accommodation,
can we sleep under the stairs?
well, if there's no accommodation, so I had planned on kind of mixing it up. Anyway, so back Barley Cove, was it?
Or Glengarriff.
Glengarriff. That's the place. Yeah, Glengarriff looks lovely. That looks really, really nice. So that's what we're definitely going to go there, and I think you've definitely mentioned Aaron. I think
we've been to Barley Cove. It's down beside the cable cart, and we went to the beach. Remember? Oh. And it has the plastic bridge. What was that called? The beach is called Barley Cove.
Yeah, Barley Cove is lovely. Yeah. If the pubs aren't open in Scotland, forget about it. We're not going. I'm only messing. Obviously, as long as the shops sell beer. So Renville. Yeah, I definitely. It just now a lot of the places you were showing looked lovely, but they looked similar to places we'd been to. But there was just something about that Renville place. It was like the place. I can't remember the name of it again, Aaron. The place in Limerick with the woods where we're going to go to. Right, so that's definitely on the go to list as well.
You need to stop leaving the country, then, Jay.
Well, like in a normal year, we'd mix it up a little bit. We'd go to that place in Limerick, and we'd definitely go to that place Renville, and so that's the thing I was thinking of. Anyway, I'll eventually get back to the and possibly beer gardens. I'd say definitely beer gardens. Yeah, I'd say that's a good thing as well.
They've reopened in New York anyway.
Campsites by the lake I live in are open. Yeah, you see, so Alex, the thing I'd say is that, but they're only allowing in people with proper vans. I say proper vans.
We have a California. We don't have a white van.
Now we have our own toilet, but I think the thing is what they're saying is no, you have to have self-contained van. Because obviously you need
to have a shower and whatnot.
Having the shower isn't essential, but you would definitely need to use the facilities.
You need to have a wash. You dirty animal.
That's debatable. Plenty of off license in Scotland. I'd imagine. Very good. Can you believe it that before Scotland was renowned for whiskey, Ireland was before it. And then what happened was basically because of I'm trying to think now what it was. Because of religious reasons, I think.
Wouldn't you know?
Puritanism and all that kind of stuff. I think we were closing down. They started to close down breweries and all that kind of stuff as well. But actually Ireland was huge for whiskey before Scotland. But then obviously when we kind of pulled back from it, the Scottish took over. But Ireland's trying to make a bit of a comeback, and it's
Guinness reopened last week.
Fair ball. So Curry Chase, is that the place? That's the place in Limerick. Okay, very good. So I'll definitely be going to go there. There and Renville. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, so back to Norway. How are we doing for time?
I have no idea.
So the
you've eaten into 45 minutes of the.
I have not.
It's 20 past.
So what? The plan is to go next year. We're thinking of going to Norway.
Are we?
Well, it'll be the end.
You watched the video.
It'll be at the end of the trip.
When am I going to get to Sicily? Because I can't turn 40 till I get there.
Nuts. Forgot about that. I forgot about that totally. I thought we were going to go to maybe Sicily this year. We could go later.
I'm not going. I have had this conversation with Christian. I am not going to somewhere that's supposed to be warm and relaxing.
Norway is warm and relaxing.
Yeah, but I'll be prepared for that.
Okay.
But I'm not going to Sicily.
It is relaxing.
To freeze.
So what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'd forgotten about that. I hadn't written off.
You've forgotten about it because it wasn't for you.
Yeah, but your birthday's passed.
And yours hasn't come
and
yet.
It'll be a big birthday for me next year.
You mightn't get there.
So.
Yeah, well, you never know what the world has in store for next year.
Well. Yeah.
COVID this year. God knows what next year.
I know. It could be a volcano or.
Yeah.
Anything, yeah. So nice, expensive though. Yeah. So what we're thinking of doing is then we're either going to do this is what we're thinking of. So I was doing a bit of research, looking at it and everything like that. So what we're thinking of doing is getting the ferry to France and then making our way towards Norway. And if we don't get there, we don't get there, right? So the thing is, what we're going to do is get the ferry to France and then stay off the motorways.
Yes.
Head up then to, say, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, and then make our way across, right? So something like that, and then make our way back. Now, I'm presumably, I'll have to put in for like 3 weeks holidays to get 3 weeks off.
I don't know if I can have that.
Why not?
I'll have to have a chat with the boss.
But you're your own boss.
I know.
Well,
I'll have to go and have it.
well, you could fly back. So, that's what we're thinking of doing. But what
I love the way you think that that's a punishment.
No, I know it wouldn't be. But plan B would be then maybe to go across the UK, and then I think there's a ferry that runs from Newcastle to Norway. I think, right?
Is that right?
Newcastle. I don't think that's right, is it? So then the plan would be to go to Newcastle across, and then maybe then that way we could spend more time in Norway or something like that. Maybe.
It'll come out in the wash.
So that's what we're kind of thinking of doing. So if anyone's been to Norway or anyone's gotten a ferry like we're talking about doing or anything like that, and you have any suggestions, because people were very helpful with Italy, except
they organised.
No, we did. Well, I remember. Darren. Do you remember Darren? Right, Darren used to be on here. Remember, and he was saying to go to. There's a cable car. Remember, it goes up the mountain. But then remember we got there and people were going on about like you queue for 3 hours to get onto the cable car. Then you're up in the cable car. When you get off, there's another queue. And we did want to do it, but when we got there, it was like forget about it. So people do come back with useful stuff, and they had some hints and tips. But
where was that?
When we went to Italy, not Sicily, Lake Garda.
What was the cable car?
There's a cable car that runs up, and you get this beautiful view. But it's like
up what?
Up the. Do you remember when we went for the long spin up? On the outward leg, right? Say maybe a third of the way up the lake. There's a place where you get this cable, and there was huge queues, and there's loads of people all over the place.
Probably do, yeah.
And I was saying that's really, really popular, but I was put off by the fact that you have to get there. You have to get there really early, and then it's not worth it and stuff like that as well. So that was the thing. But I think the heat was just ruining the trip for me altogether. Expensive.
That wouldn't work properly.
Staying in the UK or Ireland, yeah. Well, look, I suppose, if we can't get to Scotland, then that's definitely going to be it.
Absolutely.
Because by the time, good man for subscribing, Alex. That's just popped in. Thank you very much. So
Alex could be a girl.
That's very true. That good person, Alex. Good person. Fair ball to you. You can indicate your. Oh no, I'm not supposed to ask those kind of questions. Because you could be gender fluid.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Alex.
You could be gender fluid. Can you be gender neutral? Yeah. Can you be gender neutral? Yeah. Can you not identify?
You can be whatever you want to be. You can be whatever you want to be.
You always make it sound when I say those things like I'm judging people or criticizing people. I'm only making a statement.
I'm not.
I'm only making a statement.
I'm just stopping you before you say something silly.
I didn't say anything silly. I was just saying that it's interesting. In Bergen is a cable car. It's a beautiful city. Yeah. So it's been on the to-do list. So the thing then is like that's what we're going to do. We're going to go across the UK, and then go from Newcastle across, or else head up. Now, my preference is to get the boat to France. Say it.
Get the boat to France.
Okay, so get the boat to France and then head up because you'd like to see the Low Countries and all that kind of stuff, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because I'm sick of looking at motorways.
Well, we're not going on motorways no matter what we do.
No way. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. I want to see little people going around on their cars on cobbly streets.
That's exactly the plan. That's exactly the plan. The plan is to just get off the boat. Like that's what we're doing in Scotland. We're going to get off the boat, and what we're going to do is just wing it. You know, just wing it and then see what happens. And I think that would make for the most interesting thing, because I think if you think about that trip the other day that we went to Clontarf, like we didn't know what to expect.
No,
that was definitely not what I was expecting. the weather anyway was better than we thought.
Yeah.
It turned out
Great,
to be better,
wasn't it?
didn't it? So yeah, so look, that's me. I'm all talked out.
As if that was such a thing.
Yeah.
So that's me. I'm not going to talk anymore. No, I said I'm not talking anymore. Well, I just wanted to say.
Well, I'll say one more thing then, right? Yeah, see, that's. I was checking that.
There's
and
no ferry.
There's no ferry, yeah. So I thought, see, flights are probably so cheap. Yeah, I thought that. So then it is to France. Now you can obviously get the boat across to Holland or something like that as well, and then drive up. It's the same difference, but I think we'll figure that out. But that's well. What are we going to do then about Sicily? We'll have to have 2 holidays next year.
Never turn 40.
We'll have to have 2 holidays.
I'll just never turn 40.
Well, we could have 2 holidays next year.
Well, we'll see.
We won't be paying for the van, so we could afford it.
Yeah, we went to the Dolomites. Oh, Dollymount, sorry.
They're near the Dolomites.
They're about as near as that lake you was just walking up them for.
That was an honest mistake. Did you
Where's
go?
Dollymount? That is Dollymount, isn't
Dollymount
it?
Strand, yeah. So we did, but what happened? See, we were totally surprised by the place. So first of all, we went, and the rain. It was supposed to be raining. Okay, I brought my new lens, which isn't weatherproof. So I was kind of like using the other lens, but then when we got there, it was dry, and then it was so you could see when we were driving through the city. The reason in the video it looks very white, it's because the sky was just really
so grey.
It was really washed out. Everything was right, and that was the weather. And then by the time we got to the end and walking back, I was taking off my jacket and it was turning really nice, but it seemed like it was going to rain.
Do you remember walking down? You were going, nobody brought jackets, and Christian and I were going, well, we brought jackets.
Yeah, and I didn't bring a jacket, and I thought I was going to get lashed on. So then, but then by the time we got back to the van, it was lovely. But then loads and loads of people were showing up, so it was really nice.
They really imposed on their day, didn't they? Showing up, the cheek of them.
I know, yeah, it was very busy. Now, in fairness, most people were keeping their distance, yeah. So yeah, over the wooden bridge. Yeah, we've driven over that a few times. I think there's like a 2-ton limit.
That's Bull Island, isn't it? Dollymount Strand.
It is. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So we're thinking of Sandymount. Is it Sandymount? Is it that beach along there?
Sandymount is where we were, down Irish Town. Yeah. And Dollymount is Bull Island, basically.
Yeah, so it is. Look, it is. You could drive back to Amsterdam and get the ferry to Newcastle. Yeah, so we were thinking of doing that maybe, and then that way we could drive across the UK or drive across England, and we could either head up to Scotland or we could head to Holyhead. And then, but I'm thinking, you see, the thing is, the least driving the better. I'm thinking, or Liverpool. You go to Liverpool and get the ferry from Liverpool to Dublin.
Yeah. So we don't have to come from the north.
Yeah. So then that way, getting back to Dublin means we get off the boat in Dublin and then we're home, which is super handy.
Yeah.
Because
the
time we came back from Scotland, and I was driving from Belfast down, it was a bit hairy because I was tired.
The weather was very bad as well. Do you remember the rain? And
let's face it, the drivers in Ireland are a bit nuts. So we'd gone from very disciplined drivers, say UK, driving in the UK, and very disciplined drivers, say in the continent, and then all of a sudden, then we had people driving slowly in the fast lanes and undertaking and overtaking and all that kind of stuff as well, and I was half asleep driving back as well. So
you're like a bit of an antichrist as well, actually.
Was I?
Yeah.
I was tired. Like it's tiring, It's tiring doing all that driving.
We were in Cornwall 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
4 years ago. 4 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, we were in Cornwall.
We didn't do videos back then.
No. It was lovely actually, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
Really, really nice.
We went to Land's End, which is a bit of a disappointment.
It was actually.
I'd spent my, like John O'Groats and Land's End. We hear so much about these places in the UK, and you're kind of going, you want to go. And when we got down there, it was like, all right, it was a bit. It's a bit like Cortown. That's what it reminded me of. It was sort of like very holiday-esque. And
it was a super warm day, so there was a lot of people at it as well. Yeah, and kind of, it just lacked. It lacked kind of what we were looking for, if you know what I mean. So, and then the problem was then you couldn't really go anywhere else. It seemed to be that's all you could do. That was it. There. Yeah. Anyway, so the other thing I was going to say was rip off.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say was to any of the fathers out there, it's Happy Father's Day on Sunday. Happy Father's Day. I know it's this is my Father's Day gift from the guys are from Christian.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's a red wine that I've never tried before, but it's a Malbec, and I've never had a Malbec before, and I have to say it is delicious. It's my new favorite red wine. So congratulations to all the fathers out there, and happy Father's Day. And what's interesting is, as a father, I think it's something you assumed you do, but you never think you will. Sort of. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes when I look at Christian, I kind of go, I can't believe I'm someone's dad. You know, it's kind of strange, you know, so I think, you know, if anyone wants to share their dad stories, then fire away. So what's this? Yeah, just a huge, yeah, it is. It was really disappointing. I really got there thinking, and when we had something to eat as well and stuff like that, wasn't it? It wasn't, like, hope is better, isn't it?
Yeah, the lads weren't happy with the food or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a real letdown. Like,
look, you live and learn, don't you?
Well, what was driving me mad was that when we were driving to it, I can't think of the name of the place, but there's an island with like a castle on it, and you can go in and out of the tide, and I was kind of going, we should have went to this.
Yeah,
this is so much better,
yeah.
and it wasn't as far either. Is it St. Helens or something like that? Or, I don't know.
Something like that.
So that was much better on the way down, and that's what we thought we should have done. But we went to Land's End. It was just a bit of a distance, and it was at Fairrail Drive, wasn't it? We were driving for quite a long time.
A while we were driving for.
That's back when I was kind of driving too much. You know, I thought, we're just drive and stuff like that as well. But there you go. So just a huge car park. Yeah.
We went to the Lake Districts as well there, didn't we?
Yeah. So in Cornwall for August, yeah. See, everyone's kind of, that's what's going to happen now. Everyone's going to be out. So that's the thing. So obviously Aaron is going to be visiting loads of places in...
Yeah. What's that?
Kids looking for a Christian. I'll keep the troops occupied. How are we doing? Am I still in the shot? So yeah, I think so. That's it. It'll be Aaron is going to go to all these various places as well. So again, see that's the kind of benefit of having those. The benefit of having those vans is that you can do that kind of thing, you know. So that's one of the limitations for us. But hopefully they relax things a little bit more. St. Michael's Mount, that's it. Yeah, that was beautiful. Absolutely a beautiful place. Yeah. So.
You heading out? Yeah. All right, kiddo.
So St. Michael's Mount. I don't know what we were saying at St. Helens. But St. Helens probably something totally different. We're just brutal for people who travel so much. We're just rubbish.
Well, now I don't remember.
Well,
you just bring me to these places.
No,
and I go, that's lovely.
No, do you know what? I'm not great at. I don't put the effort into learning. That's why I'm relying on Aaron so much. Aaron basically can remember all these names. I don't know, right? Let's just check. Yeah, I am. So, so I think that's why I think it's great. It's great, but no, I struggle with the names of places.
What's the pub?
Great pubs, I'd say.
Oh.
It wouldn't just have one pub. Maybe there's a pub on the island, is it?
I thought you'd mentioned something while I was gone.
No. So I was just saying that Aaron's going to be getting about in all those, and I'm looking forward to seeing all those videos. But I think that's the downside of Airvan, and that we're obviously limited now that we can't. But at the same time, we probably would wild camp anyway. You know.
Well, as I said, once the hotels are open, we can wild camp and use their facilities. But they mightn't let you in without a key. That's the only thing.
Yeah, you see, so when we wild camp, what tends to happen is we tend to be near like a hotel or something like that. And what we'll do is in the morning get up and do our ablutions. And that's what we do. We tend to use it for that. It's handy to have, or sit and have a beer and something to eat in the evenings as well, which is kind of handy. So we'll have to do pure wild camping, which will mean getting out the porta potty and getting the porta potty up and running.
Yeah.
Number ones only. You can go on a hedge. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to.
You wouldn't be able to what? Go on a hedge? I wouldn't be able to go on a hedge either.
I'm a very sophisticated woman.
I know, but I wouldn't be able to go on a hedge either. Like for a dose.
3.
Number dose.
Number 3.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, I would definitely. I mean, the wild camping's great, but you do, unless it was purely wild. So, say it was in Scotland and you were like a zillion miles from anywhere, and you could, there was nothing around you.
Nobody could hear you.
Yeah. Now you saw that couple earlier, and your man got out of the van, and the first thing he said was, "I had to go for a pee," and we nearly were like switching it off. But anyway, so what else? What else are we going to talk about? Okay.
I was reading comments, sorry. What else was I going to talk about? I wasn't really going to talk about it. I just tag along for the ride.
Hope Aaron does a map of the sites on his web. That's a good suggestion.
I think he has done something like that, hasn't he?
No.
Have I seen Aaron do something like that, or am I imagining that completely? That he's done a map.
All the places he visited.
All the places he's been.
I think I saw something like that as well, actually.
If you haven't, that's a great idea. Go with it.
Yeah. Fair ball to you, Laura. So I'll tell you what I was watching. I was a bit bored, and I was watching. I'd gone back to watching videos on people refitting their tea. There's a guy, Steve something as his name is. I'm not sure. I was only watching him there this evening. But what he did was he has a Caravelle, and then what he's doing is he's basically modifying the Caravelle himself, right? So remember, he lowered the springs himself.
Yeah.
He did get new wheels. It looks
Did he?
much better with the new wheels.
Right.
He got new wheels done, and he put on a bonnet on, or he put a skirt around the front and stuff like that as well. And I really admire people with those kind of skills. I wish I could do it, but in a way, you see, I was looking at it, and it has improved it, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking, is it a bit kind of like gilding the lily a little bit? You know what I mean? Because when you see these tea trees, and they've done very little to them, they've done nothing to them. The tea tree is a very boxy looking band. And when I see them, and what are they, 1980s? They're probably the 1980s, and I'd almost get one because they look so cool. The only thing is they're driven mad because the engines are very unreliable, and they're driven mad, and then they don't have air conditioning. So you see when they're driving along, they have the fans in it. Could you imagine not having air conditioning?
Imagine you and there was no air conditioning.
Do you remember when we were driving in Italy, and we were driving along the motorway, and the aircon was on full blast, and the glass beside me was roasting. It was like, you think the sun is shining through the glass. Like how what would it take to get the glass hot? But when I was touching the glass on the driver's side, it was roasting. And it was and with the aircon on full. So what happens when we were slowing down, I was kind of going, oh my God, we have to get out into this heat. It was literally like an oven, wasn't it? You would open the door and the hot air would just rush in, and you'd be like, oh my God. That's why we're going to Norway.
It was great. I loved it.
We're going to go to Scotland or something like that as well. Any recommendations for campsites down near Tremor?
I think that's directed towards Aaron, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyway, what about us? Have we been
No.
to a campsite near Tremor? There's a good Newtown Cove in Tremor. It's beautiful. See that? Look. There's this. What's this? There's this app that I have. There's an app here called on your phone. The last time I showed us, it wasn't great. Now I noticed because the screen, because of the way the things. But it's called
Camping Ireland.
No, what's it called? Wait, no, it's called Motorhome Parks. Is it?
I have Camping IRL.
Anyway, so I don't think you can see. If you get the app, so basically what it is, I'm not sure if you can see that, right? So what it is that you have an app, and it has all the basically campsites on it. So you see, if I zoom in, I don't know if you can see it because of the way. What I'll do is I'll do this because you might be able to. You get the idea. So see that? That's what I use. So when I look at that. So what I do is I take this and I look at this and then I go, okay, look at there seems to be a lot more, doesn't it? Is it me or is there more campsites? Maybe they just added more. That looks like a lot more to me.
You see, they might have to buy into them. Maybe people have bought into the app.
No, it looks like there's a lot more campsites. There definitely looks like there's a lot more campsites. There's way more than, like, I don't know. I don't know how Aaron manages. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you manage to do it, Aaron,
they go
to
away
visit.
every weekend, though, don't they?
Yeah. Well, he visits a few places. You see, we're going to just one place. So I think that's the thing as well.
Yeah, but he's basically driving around the house. We're driving around in a van. We have to pack everything back up.
Well, not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. That is gone now. The days of that are gone. Like, we even took the tent out of the van the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
So the camp, the roof box investment, I can't remember. I'm going to say €300 for a roof box, probably, right? The tent was €600. So you're looking at €1,000 worth of equipment sitting that we're not. Well, we won't get rid of it because it's handy to have. Because if we ever did go somewhere and we said, look, we're going to be there for say a month or 6 weeks, it'd be handy to have the tent. But I think we are going down the road of basically going to be far more convenient. Okay.
He goes away weekdays and 2 or 3 places a weekend.
Oh.
I don't pay for apps. No, I don't think you pay for those apps.
You can pay for this one, but it's free. There's a free version, but I think you can upgrade it. But I don't know. I never.
That Camping Ireland one that I have is free. I don't pay for apps either.
I don't know what the upgrade is. Map. Get premium upgrade. Oh, it has more. I think the upgraded version of it just has kind of things to visit. So if you go to the campsite, it says you're near the Cliffs of Moher or something like that as well. But you're like, that's
you'd know that. You'll see the road sign.
That's what Google's for as well. So, anything else, Vanessa? Although I keep saying it to you, and I know I keep talking. So, is there anything? How are we doing for time?
It's 22.
22. Okay. So
we watched that Hillary documentary on Sky Documentaries on Now TV. This week. I was really, really good, wasn't it? Really interesting.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the stuff that went on we wouldn't have known about. Did you know about the treatment that she got? Her personally that she got?
I knew a bit of it. I knew a bit because you see the thing is I kind of probably watched videos about Clinton himself, like. But what is amazingly interesting, it is good. I thought it was good. I don't know if it's really, really good, but I don't know what you can, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's really, really good?
Well, I think was a strong 7 or 8.
That's really, really good. What's 10? Excellent, brilliant.
The Mark Ruffalo thing.
No, but what would you call excellence? What would you call 10?
It's a long time since I've seen something that was a 10.
But what would you call it? I mean, if you say really, really good
Excellent.
is a 7.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's what really, really good is. Excellent. Did you never get marked very well in school?
No, if 7 is really, really good, what's 10?
10 is excellent.
Right, so 10's excellent.
Really excellent.
Okay. So I think okay.
You didn't really like it?
No, I did. It was good. Like, but I don't know if it was really, really good in that I thought you see I can't relate to her.
Because you're not a woman.
No. I just...
And you're not being hated for the simple fact that you are a woman.
No. It's nothing to do with her sex.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing to do with her sex. And I am neither racist nor sexist. Right, am I? Am I?
No.
I'm not, right? I'm not. And I don't agree with racism, and I don't agree with any of the isms. Right? So wait now. That makes it sound like I don't agree with feminism. I do agree with feminism. So anyway, stop digging.
Yeah.
So what I think what it was that it was interesting to see the rubbish she had to put up with, and I think that no matter what she said, she was going to, whatever about running for president as a man being difficult, how difficult it was for her, and when you do watch it, it was interesting that, like, she was definitely by and far the better candidate than Trump,
obviously,
but yeah, he still won.
So was
but then I was watching Dave Chappelle, who's basically one of my favorite comedians, and Dave Chappelle was saying he's a Democrat, right? So he's a black guy, right? Now that he was saying, I think that black people have a tendency to vote for Democrats, right? Which, if you know anything about the history, is ironic because they were freed by the Republicans. But anyway, so he was saying he voted for her because he was definitely not going to vote for the other guy, and he had to vote for somebody. But he said it didn't, because even though she was the first female person to be that close to being the president, it just didn't feel. He said he didn't get the satisfaction of voting for her, but he knew he had to, which I thought was quite interesting. I think she emotes that response in people.
But even as Bill himself said, now obviously he would, he's her husband, but as he said, people that know her love her. But because she gives off the impression that she's got a resting bitch face, basically, they can't handle it.
Well, you see, it's her personal persona and her private persona. She should bring more of her private persona out, but she doesn't anyway. So, but that's probably unfair.
Very unfair.
But the reason I can't buy into her, or Trump, or Barack Obama, or Bush, or any of those guys, right, is because in America, like politics at that level is all about money and power. And I think over there it's so extreme. And look at their country. Like the thing about Vietnam, right, was they were spending millions on trying to fight a war in a country, and yet there's people going around in America, black people going around in America barefoot and hungry. You know, and that's still happening. So I think the thing is, when I see, that's why I see her, and I see her getting into power, and I go, fair ball, she's the first American female president. But I still think she's of that ilk that she's not going to do. And even then, when you look at Barack Obama, all the things he tried to do, he was thwarted and blocked by everything. Then Trump came in and undid it all. Now, I'm no expert. I don't know it all, right? And you know, so that you have to watch the media and all that kind of stuff as well. But that's why even for her, you kind of go, like the American president, like there's so much power in both of their houses, and there's so much money invested in it, that the president, on some level, seems like a puppet. You know what I mean?
Well, bearing that in mind, I wasn't talking about the president. I was talking about the person that didn't win the presidency.
So.
And it's definitely worth a watch.
It is good. Now back to the comments. Okay, so I saw a funny one in there. So Aaron is saying 10 is savage. That's probably correct. I'd say I'd go with that. That is savage. And shall I tell you, I'd say the Bronx don't bar me. Her own poodle stink. Okay, so you're definitely not a fan of Hillary, but I just think
I wouldn't be a fan of hers either, like because I've no interest in politics whatsoever, so I wouldn't be a fan of hers either, but it was just very, very interesting to watch. And Michelle Obama got the exact same treatment, that because she was a woman that had a brain, she was treated so badly. And that's what it is. Michelle Obama was basically told, you need to shut up or you're going to lose it for him.
Well, yeah, but you see, in politics, they have to ruin your reputation. That's what it's about. It's about whoever crosses the line, right, has destroyed the other person. That's what it is. So what they're trying to do is they try and hold off on playing dirty for as long as possible. But Trump didn't. He went straight in, right? So he kind of upset the whole thing, where they have this facade of everything like that. But really, what they're doing is they're just getting dirt on each other, and that's what they're trying to do. So her. That's what they had on her. They had her sex on her. That's what they used against her. That she, you know, no matter what she said, like that's the thing. If she got annoyed at somebody, she was losing it and being hysterical. But then if she didn't, she was cold and she didn't care. And I said, no matter what she said, she couldn't win. You know, there's a lot of stereotyping there. But then she made that comment in the thing about saying, remember she said, they'd be happy if I stayed at home and baked cakes and made tea or something like that as well. Now, the minute she said it, I knew myself, right? I said, I know what she means. She means that's what they want me to do. She didn't mean there's anything wrong with that. But then her advisors are like going, oh my God. And then the next day they had said, they had all these women out there and saying, what's wrong with staying at home and baking cakes and making tea?
Yeah,
so
but then they also faulted her for staying with her husband.
They did.
You know, so she, no matter what she did, she couldn't do right.
Yeah. That's true. But what makes it all a farce is the stuff that Trump was caught saying.
Yeah.
And he was elected president. So he the stuff he said and the stuff he did and the stuff he incited, and they voted him in. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that she was female. It doesn't matter if she's male. It doesn't matter if she's black or she's white or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's politics. It's a show. You know, that's my view. It's just a big show. You know, so we've gone off on a bit of a tangent there.
You did, didn't you?
So what do you mean I did? You brought it up.
I brought it up. I didn't go off on a tangent.
Okay.
I was just saying, if anyone's looking for something to watch it.
It is good.
Very, very good.
No, I don't know. It's very, very good.
I thought it was very, very good.
I don't know. It's very, very good.
But I would be interested in strong females, because I think they're the way to go.
Well, you relate to them, obviously.
Yeah, and women don't start wars. The world would be a nicer place if there was more of them in charge. Look at your woman in New Zealand.
Well, I think Mrs. Ceausescu was no saint. Cleopatra was no saint. Yeah, like women.
I didn't say they were saints. I didn't say we were saints.
The thing that women probably don't cause wars is because they're not in powerful enough positions to do it. But yeah, I can see that women.
The Queen.
men would be kind of going, I'm going to sacrifice my sons and send them to war, which they don't do. They don't send their own sons. What they do is they send everyone else's. But I think women would be probably more inclined, maybe, I don't know, women might be more inclined to probably kind of go, I wouldn't send your son either. Whereas a man would kind of go, I'm not sending little Johnny, but your little Johnny can head on in and get his, you know, do what he's doing or something like that as well. Whereas maybe women might not.
We wouldn't do that.
But look, you know, women, what were you saying? I'm gonna stop talking while in my head.
I said we're perfect, so you should shut up.
Well, I never said you weren't. We're all perfect.
And I said the lady, I can't even think of the Prime Minister now of New Zealand.
She's very good.
Lovely lady.
Yeah, she's very good. She comes across very well.
Yeah, very good.
We could do. We haven't had a female Taoiseach here, so it's on the cards. Though I'd say it's going to happen sooner or later. But you couldn't think of any female politicians. I couldn't think of any female politicians off the top of my head. Now you might say Lindy Lou. What's her name?
No, I wouldn't rate.
Really?
No. I would have a few years back, but that's when her reigns were being held. But I wouldn't rate her now. No.
Why?
I don't know. I find her very disingenuous now.
But you see, that's because she's. You see, I think what happens is that they come in, right? I think being a politician is a lot like saying being a teacher or a policeman or something like that, a pilot even, right? You go in with this dream, and then I think then the further you move up the ladder, so she's not the same person that she was when she was probably more, I'm gonna say innocent or something like that, but she was probably more naive, and now she's at the tippity top. She has to be so careful, and you're
hop.
But you're picking up on that.
Yeah.
Because they've so much to lose by saying the wrong thing and everything like that. And again, for what's her name again?
Mary Lou.
She can't win, you know, so she can't win. But look, you know, well, how do we get into all these politics? How do we?
It's your call.
Okay. So
maybe I should run for president.
New Zealand do have it. You should run for president.
Yeah.
Who is it? Listen to Joan Armatrading song. If woman rule the world, it's savage. Okay. Yeah, look, I think everyone, it's opinions really. This all comes down to opinions. And not only that, as ordinary, normal people, we are very ill-informed of what's really going on in the world. I think that's the thing. We get our information through the TV, and it's all through the lens of big media companies and everything like that as well. I know I sound paranoid.
Fake news, Jay.
But that's what it is. That's what it is, because these media companies are run by moguls. And these moguls want these people in power who become their puppets, and that's what they want. That's. I have probably become quite cynical in my old age in that I don't trust anything anymore.
Well, you know what they say.
No.
Believe none of what you hear and only half what you see, because sugar can look like salt from far away.
Very true. Very true. Very wise words. Very wise words. And I'd say we're probably coming close to the end now, are we?
Yes.
We changed the name of the channel, and I think everyone seemed to be okay with it. One person commented on it saying that we should have had a vote. And what I said was we did have a vote.
It should have been online.
We did have a vote, but it was done live, which is the best way to do it, because that's the honest reaction. Because if people had said no, we would have left it. But I actually had to say changing the thing was straightforward enough. And I can't remember who, but somebody asked me to create a Spotify playlist for the music that I put into the videos.
Last week or the week before.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago. I can't quite remember. And I did create a Spotify playlist, and I do add in the music. And if you're if you're on Spotify, it is called The Rainmaker at IBT. I left the IBT bit in because, well, not because the Rainmaker, it's gone. It's probably not. But it's called The Rainmaker at IBT, and I'm assuming it's public. I think it is public. The Rainmaker at IBT.
Gogglebox will be waiting for me, Jay.
Well, then start your goodbyes.
Okay, lads, listen. It's been emotional. I have to bring Jay and sober him up, clearly.
Well, this Gogglebox, the celebrity ones, I have no interest in it.
That's alright.
No, I've no interest.
I don't like it as much now, I have to say, but it is alright.
So
something to watch.
You're onto something, Jay.
And there you go. Look.
Don't forget the likes. Good man. Don't forget the like. Yeah. What? Surrounded by idiots.
This is me.
Is that like a play on kind of words? No, is it, or something? Is it kind of like
No,
You're not really surrounded by idiots.
No, it's about the crumbs. It's about the 4 human behaviours. And basically this man in this big company, multinational company, the owner of it went in one day and he says, look, I'm surrounded by idiots. And that's where the name of the book came. But it's shown you why, say, you and I don't get along. Our personalities are so different.
Oh yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's basically the four different personality groups. See?
And I did that. I did that. The reds and blues and all that. Yeah.
And then
and it
the
is
type
very,
of person that you are emotionally and your colour and whatnot. So it's interesting.
And it is because when I did one of those things.
It's true.
There was somebody I couldn't get on with, and what they explained to me was that it's not personal. It's just their way. So the example being, I walk in the morning and I don't say hello to anyone. I sit down at the desk and I start working, right? That's just me. I'm not trying to insult anybody. But then you have the hugger who wants to greet you and have a cup of tea and talk to you and all that kind of stuff. And they're devastated because they think they've done something on you. And you're kind of going, I didn't do anything on you. That is interesting that does go on and probably has caused wars. But anyway. So yeah, so look, okay.
But not by women.
We're going to go and we'll probably see you next week then, unless we're being all released.
Unless the pubs were up.
There will be a big announcement next week and we'll all probably be allowed free. I'd say.
But the hairdressers and all that are back open from next week because there was an announcement today.
Aaron's going to be off doing his travels, so we'll catch you on the we'll catch Aaron on the replay. So
lads, have a lovely weekend. Yeah. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and Ihoa. You hate me saying that, don't you?
I don't mind you saying that at all. All right then, I'm gonna go. Hang on now, I have to get out of this. Why is this split screen? What's going on here? What's going on? Oh yeah, okay. We're gonna go now. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. End stream.